Welcome back. I'm Tally Woe, and this is Theories and Explanations That Will Change Your World. Episode 9. I didn't think I was going to make it this far. I thought I was going to give up like I do everything else, but we're here. Let's get it.
If you were born deaf, what language would you think in? Isn't that concerning?
I don't know. Like, is it possible to have the thoughts but not be able to put the words to it? I guess that's a yes because I do it all the time. I'm just wondering what oatmeal is sitting inside somebody's head if they don't know what language to speak about what they want to say. That's wild.
Right. Do you know that so many people loved your lion noise yesterday? They thought that your lion noise was really good. Everyone thought it sounded so real.
It is real.
It is real?
Yeah, it is super real. And a real lion sound.
How did you get so good at that noise?
I practice, and I am when I say roar roar, and I don't most it. And I say.
I can't do it. How can you do that?
We may get some air and blow. You need to practice. My mom knows you're good at it. I am an expert.
My professional diagnosis, skinwalker. That's the only. I can't do that. I don't even think Ving Rhames could do that. I don't even think Morgan Freeman could do that. Nah, we're gonna go with skinwalker.
Taking it over us. Doing it all for love.
Well, if you've been keeping up with recent news and headlines and all of the dysfunction going on in Hollywood, you already know that that's true. So we're just gonna move on to the next one.
Does that not sound like what Epstein was doing?
Yeah, that does sound
Running
like
some kind of sex trafficking, entrapment, blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands.
Now,
Was that not Jeffrey Epstein?
that was Jeffrey Epstein, but I think his was in a different part, right? I mean, that's still Jeffrey Epstein, bro.
The whole, we thought that he was like making his money and got his fame through fucking
Now,
sex trafficking, entrapment, blackmail.
That makes sense because now we're starting to unravel the story, right? These people are probably using cryptocurrency to pay for their child abuse that they're doing, and the child exploitation, the child pornography, and whatever they're doing with children. This is probably how they're paying for it, right? And so they're probably trying to get rid of like the top people who, like, hey, let's just get this guy out of here. That's scary. Like, I'm goosebumps are running through my body right now. Like, this is literally what. Yeah, you're right. That tweet is literally what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. Allegedly.
Well, if more than one person can come up with the same possibility for a situation, it jumps out of the theory realm and jumps into the possibility realm, and it should be researched, investigated, and whatever else. That's all I'm saying. My condolences to y'all that lost when you invested in Hoptua coin. Actually, no, I take my condolences back because you're ridiculous.
This is the thing that Hollywood and the entertainment industry doesn't want you to know. Because if people wake up and realize the people that are famous got there not because of their talent and not because of their skill, but because they were the ones who were willing to compromise their morals the most, then it opens up the realization to people that the people, the A-list celebrities, the people that we give awards to, the people that we celebrate as being the best of their industry, are not really the best. Are there people in the entertainment industry that are incredibly talented? Yes. But I guarantee you, there are probably people waiting tables right now that probably could outsing any famous singer right now. Or waiting tables, or who are receptionists in offices that are probably better actors than any actor that's ever won an Oscar. Because they weren't willing to compromise themselves in order to get themselves in that position.
That's not even something that is too far-fetched to be even considered a conspiracy theory. If you've watched interviews of child actors, if you've watched interviews of adult actors and actresses that talk about the things going on in Hollywood right now, you would have been far ahead of the game, and you probably would have helped prevent this happening to a lot of people. Maybe some people you know, maybe people you don't know. It's a lot of the things that haven't been supported and haven't been resolved are things that we speculate on from the safety of our non-Hollywood existence. And when people go against what the people inside of Hollywood are saying, it kind of seems like you're an enabler. So I think we need to give more credit to these people who have clearly been through things, and not just always assume that they had a drug problem or stuff like that, because it's becoming a real issue and it's starting to affect more people than just the people that are inside of Hollywood. R.I.P. to Matt, man.
Then they bring me to the back room, and in the back room they have this long table with a white sheet set out. I mean, beautiful thing. Look like the damn Last Supper. On one end is Derek Jeter, there's Stephon Marbury. It's not that the rapper. That's not it. That's a misconception. What it is, it's about control. See, that's what makes it. That's why you see, like, wow, Jamie Foxx, you would say that, because they're in a bind. Because see, Jay-Z's not. But once you reach a certain level, you have to give something up. There's something that you're going to give up, because you got to be down with that crew. And how do I know? Because it happened to me. That is why I'm standing here talking right now. I reached a certain level in that station. What I'm saying, what's happened is it was passed down to to everyone in the urban industry. So now you have a rapper who will get turned out by a high-ranking label exec, because, well, what you gonna do? I mean, if I want to be a rapper and I walk in and the label exec tells me that this is what I need to do for him because, hey, he put my album on when I really wasn't that talented, but they pushed me because they saw that I was something that they could sell. So when you bring me in a room and there's my favorite rapper right there who's in the same room, so that must mean he must have committed the same act as I did. So at the end of the day, depending on where your level is within yourself, you go do it. And it's easy for those of us to sit back and say we wouldn't do it. But the majority of us will never fulfill our dreams. So we'll never be in a position to say what we would or would not do. You understand what I'm saying? We'll never be in that position. Because before I got there, I would say the same thing until I got there. You understand? So I literally lived the devil taking me to the mountain and saying, you go to the left, you have all of this. And I was there. It was ritualistically done. 3 straight weekends. They do everything in 3s. 3 weekends in a row. Hey, D-Brad, let's go hang out. And every weekend, he kept beating me in the head. Get rid of this Rap City, man. You can do more than Rap City, D-Brad. You can do more than you can come with us. We go to the joint, we hanging in VIP. Get me everything I want. Then every time we hung out, it was the same way. Then they bring me to the back room. And in the back room, they have this long table with a white sheet set out. I mean, beautiful thing. Look like the damn Last Supper. On one end is Derek Jeter, there's Stephon Marbury. I'm trying to talk to the model chick. She's like, nah, D-Brad, come on, sit right here. We get inside the limo. We're in the car. The man standing across looking at me like I owe him something now. And while he's doing that, he's sitting there with his legs spread open, rubbing his. Now, I'm in a situation where I'm like, no, what am I going to do? So for me, I had to turn that away. But with the hell that I caught after that, I've been homeless. I've had my name destroyed. I was ashamed of myself. I went from being a man to nothing because I would not cross over.
As somebody who has been through every single thing that he's describing right now, all I'm gonna say is I ain't give up no ass, and I ain't giving up no ass. That's nope, no thank you, bye.
Kevin Hart, because it was his turn next. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
100%. 100%. And I still ain't giving up no ass. I'm just like, I know I just went back to another video, but like, I'm appalled by the request for someone to be able to simply exhibit a talent that they already possess. Like, we talking about taking off bottoms for this? Like, I don't want that price.
I don't know if you've had this, but I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That was my way of cueing you. Like, it's open dialogue.
Yeah, you want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can talk about anything. But
don't do it.
yeah, no.
I don't know how many more occurrences people need in order to understand that something is the truth. I really don't. I don't even know how many are going to be in this dialogue right now, but all I'm saying is more than one person is saying the same thing. People need to speculate. People need to do research. People need to try to figure out what's going on and if there's truth to the matter. They just do.
I don't have much further need for Hollywood myself. I don't know how you guys feel, but yeah, I think it's a very strange, funny time where everybody would love to be able to be themselves, but they can't because they must fall in line with the person in front of them. You want to live that kind of life? I wish you the best.
Another celebrity speaking in code, but we can all read between the lines if we're smart people.
It's dark and demonic energy that this industry was built on, and people manipulate young women, they manipulate kids, and at the end of the day it's all for the dollar and all to feed their ego. So I've seen some shit where you be like, that's just not right. Like, that's just, that person shouldn't be talking to that person shouldn't be in the room with that person alone. When you're in this position to change people's lives, and you hold the keys to what they consider success, you see a different aspect of the person. People will do anything to achieve their goals, and then people will manipulate and misuse that energy to get what they want.
Why have we ever looked up to people in Hollywood? I revisit my own mindset growing up and all of the glamour of Hollywood, the glossy pages of Vogue, and thinking, oh my God, I would love to have their lives. And then you realize these people are rejects. These people are disgusting. They engage in debauchery. They have no self-control over their libido. They are all in some manner a prostitute in my view, because they're prostituting themselves so that they can get in the room with the right directors, the right music executives. They're willing to do anything for fame. And when it comes to that, at that moment, you really are doing a deal with the devil, which is why, as we've shown on past episodes, there have been so many artists that have stepped forward and have written in their music that they did a deal with the devil, that they essentially traded in their soul so that they can have fame.
Bro, beating a dead horse at this point. Video after video, celebrity after celebrity. Come on.
Put on the mask. I kind of push the crease up here and I try to line up the lower lid with the mask. So usually that's a bit easier to do in front of a mirror. There you have it, guys.
I say we all go and get some Luigi Mangione masks off Temu and like just ignore the chocolate eyelids part on mine. I'm still him. It's just slight bruising or something.
Check it out. Shapeshifter, right? That's what we're thinking. Okay, let's watch it again. This has been sent to me like 20 times for me to, analyze it to see what I think. Keep watching. Pay attention. Right there. That's the one that kind of gets me right there. You can see me snapping the screenshots while I'm watching this, trying to catch each frame, and that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at each frame on when it happens, and we're going to see what's going on. So first off, this is what we have, and I have to rule out every possibility. Is this a movie? I don't know, and I haven't seen it if it is, although I'm sure the comments will say it with no information or no links to back it up. If you do have that information, please back it up. Don't say it, because if you say it and you can't back it up, it looks pathetic. So let's get started. We see this first frame right here. You can see me snapping these frames, and I'm just going to show you through each one because we're going to look at it. This is a real thing. For me, it is. This is. I'm not saying this video. I'm saying that this phenomena is very real, I think, considering personal things I've seen. Now, this video is more than likely AI. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. But it might not be. So let's check it out. See this? Okay, now we see this. I've tried to lighten it up and clear it up, and look, usually when I do that, now I will say this, if it's artificial intelligence, it'll kind of gleam out, it'll fade out. I could not get the skull, the image to fade out whatsoever. I mean, it stayed solid, so that could have some authenticity to it. So let's check this next frame. Okay, then you can see this here, and actually I got those two frames crossed up, and the other one goes after this one. So let's watch this one. I'm not going to even go back try to correct the video. We'll just go back. All right, so this is actually the second frame. Okay, so check that out. All right, let's go back. This is third frame. Now, right before she turns all the way around, this is what happens. This guy looks terrified. I don't have him on this image, but this is what ends up happening. That's the same person right there. Now, is this an AI generated? Is it AI generated content where this guy just looks like that the whole time and they've added everything else to me? Who knows? I'll let you leave the comments. You tell me what's going on. Is this a shapeshifter?
If you have eyeballs sitting inside of your skull, kind of like this, and they if they actually work, you can tell that that's just an AI generated video. There was a dude walking through another man's whole entire chest cavity. So I don't know what digital forensics software or processes y'all are using to state your belief in things, but all I'm saying is that video ain't gonna make me believe it.
So Drake is suing Universal Music Group and Spotify because he thinks that they faked the numbers for Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. He's like, there's no way that they got that many streams. It has to be fake. Drake, they were playing it at NBA games, Drake. Drake, they were playing it at MLB games, Drake. Drake, they were playing it in the club. They were playing it at family reunions. They were playing it at children's birthdays. You had 10-year-olds singing A minor. Drake, that many people listen to the song, Drake. Drake, this level of stress is not good for your health, Drake. It's bad for your hair. Kendrick said, what is it? The braids? Traction alopecia. It was the braids. Drake, it was the braids. Drake, my mom knows the song, Drake. Drake, she's 60 and doesn't even like rap music. Just a Nigerian Christian woman. They not like us. They not like us. Chanting in the kitchen while cooking fufu and a goosey soup for my father, Drake. And as a middle-class black kid from the suburbs, I think that I'm in the position to say, that's not really G of you, Slime. You should have stuck to the street code. I wouldn't have let that slide. I would have just went up to Kendrick Lamar and said, no. That's what I would have said. Would have wagged my finger and everything. But it's lame as hell suing over rap beef. You called the law? Oh, Drake!
Hey, he was goofy, but he made quite a few points. That's all I'm gonna say. I got my opinion on how the whole hip hop industry goes and how things should go, but all I'm gonna say is he made quite a few points. So not only did Trevor Moore pass away kind of right after this was produced. This is a parody of the movie called Eyes Wide Shut, which was produced and directed by Stanley Kubrick, who also, shortly after his movie was made, passed away. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Kaylee, I'm home alone and I can hear myself saying my own name.
Help me, Kaylee.
What the f***?
Kaylee.
Kaylee! Hello? Hello? Kaylee. Mom? What the hell is going on? Hello? Hello?
Kaylee, help me. Kaylee.
Who threw that? Oh my god. Hello?
Kaylee. Kaylee, help me.
Help us. Dad? Turn around. Mom? What is going on? Hello? Hello? Ow! What the hell? You just see me put that there. What the hell is going on?
Help us. Kaylee, help me.
Oh my god.
I'm here, Kaylee.
Kaylee, here. We need your help. Kays, help us.
So that was a fake video. I normally don't just come outright and just say something is cap or something is not cap because I wasn't there to experience it. But this time, one, very easy to produce the material that we just watched and wasted a couple minutes of our time watching. Two, she screamed ouch when a yellow rubber ball with a smiley face on it hit her. 3, if I'm hearing something or somebody and I know I'm supposed to be the only one there, there is now about to be nobody in the house because I'm leaving. I'm about to stay in here and try to go look for the voice. See, like, this is how y'all die in scary movies. 100%. Always going to look what the noise was. Like, oh, let's go on an adventure. Like, this ain't no adventure. This is your journey. Bye. Bye.
Go away. Don't come any closer. Oh my god!
That dog would have been looking for a forever home 3 hours later because I would have took him to the nearest shelter I could find. Actually, no, not even the nearest shelter. I would take him 3 towns over so I knew he couldn't find his way back home. Straight gangster. Period. If I was in the position to do that, I would have done the exact same thing. Probably not the exact same pose. Definitely not the exact same pose. But I would have done the same thing.
When Kanye last year said that he was a Fed and started speaking about some of these allegations, he was simply dismissed as crazy. People at the upper echelons of society and politics knew about this and they were okay with it. Fundamentally, because he was acting a part, I very much believe what Kanye alleged, that he was acting a part like Jeffrey Epstein, in which he was collecting blackmail over various people that were in Hollywood. And so, like I said, we're at the beginning. We're scratching the surface of this scandal. There are some more big names that are going to have to answer for it. The Diddy case is a perfect example as to why that is. You know, you have people that spent so much time defending this man. This man was allowed to be with every presidential candidate. He was allowed to throw parties. He was hailed as a hero. And yet behind the scenes, everyone knew that this is what he was engaged in. This was an open secret in Hollywood.
And there you have it. I'm not going to reiterate or regurgitate anything she said. Some of y'all need to just choose to listen. Choose to receive that information. Because the proof is going to come out one way or another. And then it's going to be very hard to deny. Some people are still going to deny because some people just have to be right all the time. But the proof is going to be there.
So there's this physicist, his name is Miguel Alcubierre, and he conceived the calculations for a theoretical ship that could travel faster than the speed of light.
That a human being could sit inside of?
Right, yes. It's a theoretical thing, but he's apparently figured out the equations to make it successful.
Okay.
This is where it gets tripped, because physics say you can't travel faster than the speed of light, but this ship, it stays still. In the universe, the cosmos travels past it. It doesn't move, and the cosmos move around it. It creates its own space-time bubble, doesn't defy the laws of physics, so it would be like a gravitational wave-making machine that compresses the ocean of space-time in front of it and expands that ocean in its weight. So it's just basically just like sitting still, and the cosmos are just going. With this equation, they said that you can travel 6 trillion miles in the blink of an eye, because the cosmos, the universe, galaxies are moving that fast.
6 trillion miles.
Are we sure he did any math on this, or he just used his imagination and said...
Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about, so it has to be somewhat legit.
That's a hard one for me to conceive because there's 2 possible ways that I'm thinking about it. One is kind of like the snatching the cloth from the table while the dishes stay. The cloth in this case would be space. You're kind of forcing space to move instead of you moving, and you're snatching space to where you want to be. I don't know how you can do that with technology. I'm not that smart, but could be possible, I guess. It's like the same way as you got a steel ball on the mattress and you put your hand on the mattress in front of the ball and just move the mattress down, try to make the ball move, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how we can push down on the mattress of space to get a ship to go light years in seconds, but we're not here to talk about rocket science. We're here to talk about conspiracy theories. That wasn't a theory, but it was interesting.
Yo, what's good? Hey, so I was watching this movie on Netflix and it got me thinking about something. A movie called Troll. So in the movie, they showed a church with this huge boulder in front of the church. And they said, you know, the legend goes these trolls used to throw the boulders at the church towers because of the bells. So it got me to thinking, why did we remove all the bells? There used to be bells all across villages and cities across the world. All of a sudden, they started removing them all. They tell us the reason they did this was for like wars and everything, Revolutionary War, World War I, World War II. But I don't know, think about it. Maybe these bells was being used to like ward off negative energy, evil spirits and all of that stuff. And even if they are still making bells today, I guarantee it doesn't resonate at the same frequency and sound as these used to resonate. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
They did remove pretty much every single public bell in the entire world in the same time frame, and that is kind of weird to me, but could have been many reasons that they did that. One, for repurposing the material. That's the only one that I have. I'm not about to sit here and come up with stuff. That's the only one I could think of that makes sense. So maybe they did that, or maybe there are beings that are highly, highly reactive to those frequencies that were created by those bells. And now those beings run the world and they removed all of that. I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating.
This whole UFO situation is out of control. Let me show you why. In the past few months, there have been an enormous amount of UFO and UAP sightings across the globe. What you're looking at now is just a few that I've gathered just over the past couple of days. When people think of UFOs, they think of flying saucers, of course. Disc-shaped objects displaying incredible speed and maneuverability. But in the newly released Immaculate Constellation documents, you'll learn that there are far more than you can even imagine. Many are shape-shifting biological UAPs with moving limbs that, of course, resemble the infamous jellyfish UAP from last year, and they are all over the place right now. There have been thousands of sightings of these in just the past couple of months. The logical explanation would be balloons, but if everyone keeps releasing their balloons into the atmosphere willy-nilly, stop it. Cut it out. Like, seriously, like, what are you doing? Why are there so many balloons around? Chill on the balloons. Some are even noted to resemble the surface of the sun, displaying enormous amounts of energy. Others can hide within clouds and even take their shape. And all these different kinds of UFOs have been spying on our military bases for quite some time.
The Pentagon confirms that unidentified drones did fly over Langley Air Force Base in Hampton.
Langley Air Force Base did experience incursions of unauthorized unmanned aerial systems, but they didn't appear to exhibit any hostile intent.
So the UFOs can look, but they can't touch, and we can't touch them because we're afraid of what would happen if we tried. With all these recent sightings and releases, there has arisen a big problem. There's currently a massive disinformation campaign being launched right now about this very topic. Obviously, the cat's out of the bag now, so they can't cover it up, but what they can do is release false information to muddy the water a bit. What's scary about this is that someone is trying to fool you. Because perhaps not only is the truth almost out, but it must be far scarier and world-breaking than we could have ever imagined. And with all the recent sightings, something big could be on the horizon. Something that just may change our world forever. And honestly, there's so much going into this, I think I'm gonna have to make a long form video about it because there's just too much to talk about. I'm gonna try my best to get a video out, a long form video on the 29th of November, the day after Thanksgiving if you're in the United States, obviously, because there is a lot to talk about with this. So go ahead and keep an eye on my profile with the link at the top because you'll likely find it there on Friday. Hopefully, I'll see you then.
It's called Disinformation Station. When people are getting too close to information that you don't want them to have, you create a whole mass and mix of information on the same topic that is clearly not true, but it mixes in and it dilutes all of the factual information. We've seen enough footage from commercial pilots, from Air Force pilots, from the Pentagon and the Department of Defense themselves that we know that stuff exists now. Now we have to weed through the millions of posts by people who, for some reason, have been activated to just put out the most ridiculous stuff. There's the people that do it for attention, but then there's like people that seem to be like they secretly work for the government or something, because they try so hard to discredit all of the factual stuff that's out here, and they go to lengths to do it. Like, they absolutely destroy the comment sections of anything that comes out and seems to be real, calling people names and like just being real unhinged about it. Now, to get back to the video, like I said, we've got factual proof, factual footage from factual sources who are the ones that are usually in control of hiding this information. They're the ones that are trying to disclose it and let us know. But now that they're doing that, we believe that there's another project, which is Project Bluebeam, where they're using these situations, and all of them are fake, and they're creating them just to get us under the same umbrella and control us more easily, which I don't know how they're going to do that. Just because I believe in aliens doesn't mean you're going to tell me what to do. Like, I don't understand like the cause and effect of that. Like, I can make my own choices as a grown person. I don't trust anybody else to be able to lead me or make me do things that's going to help me other than myself. So anyway, all I'm going to say is the proof will be in the pudding.
I'm willing to bet that the majority of people watching this video don't know that there's an extra planet in our solar system, because they don't teach about it, they don't talk about it. No, I'm not talking about Pluto. What I'm talking about is the dwarf planet called Ceres, located between Mars and Jupiter. Before I move on talking about Ceres, I just want you to look at it for a minute. Tell me what you notice. If you notice the lights on the surface, congratulations, you get a gold star. Talk about that in a minute, but just for a visual, Ceres is located right here along the asteroid belt, like I said, between Mars and Jupiter. Ceres is a dwarf planet with a diameter of around 296 miles, which is like 1/13 of Earth's diameter. In simpler terms, if Earth was a quarter, then Ceres would be a poppy seed. Now, like I said, this planet is not talked about. I did not learn about this planet in school. The question is it because it's small? Is it because of the unexplained lights on the surface? Or is it something deeper? According to NASA, they theorize that these lights are sodium carbonate, and that it reflects and glimmers off the sun. Again, in simpler terms, sodium carbonate is washing soda, sodium bicarbonate is baking soda. If you're someone who makes your own cleaning supplies and laundry detergent, you'll know what sodium carbonate is. Just from personal experience, I do make my own laundry detergent. I do work with washing soda a lot. I've never seen it glow. But again, like I said, NASA says that's what it is. Just so you know, the dark side of Ceres also glows with sodium carbonate in the sun's reflection on the dark side. Now, earlier when I said that it could be something deeper, I'm talking about these guys right here. TikTok, this is solely just a theory and my thoughts alone. This is for entertainment purposes. None of what I'm about to say is factual, but it might get you thinking. Sumerians documented literally everything, including Ceres. But Ceres is not visible with the naked eye. There are tales and stories and theories of ancient astronauts. Again, not factual information. This is for entertainment purposes. TikTok, please don't take this down. You know the legends of the Anunnaki, then that explains it all. I'm not going to delve and deep dive into them on this video because it's already 2 minutes long. If you guys want to hear about them, let me know and I'll do a part 2. So really quick, there is a massive pyramid-shaped volcano called Ahuna Mons. I forgot to mention that. Pyramids, Anunnaki, let me know your thoughts.
So it kind of started going off on a tangent at the end, but all I have to say about it is hopefully that's not like some big crack rock asteroid that hit the planet and we finding out they out here on other planets whipping up the Yola. Because I'm not sure I'm ready to deal with an extraterrestrial crackhead. That's going to be a whole nother level, and like I have a problem right now in my own city dealing with these motherfuckers. So
yo, you know the mattress theory?
What mattress theory?
How every single mattress store has to be a money laundering thing, or it has to be something else that's sus.
Oh wait, no.
So check it out. The mattresses, right? That's the perfect size to hide what?
A body.
Yo! Every time we go into the mattress store, nobody's in there.
Nobody's in there, low key.
Nobody's in there. Why are they still in business? Like, yo, there's no way they can pay the rent.
Yeah, like one mattress is like maybe like $100. It's not gonna pay for the whole year, you know what I mean?
Yo, okay, I'm shopping for mattresses are expensive.
Okay, but it's not gonna pay for the whole store.
But if you think about it, maybe some of those mattress stores, they could hide up. Because if you take in the shape of a mattress, that's a perfect size to what? Fit a body, because a body has to lay on it.
Yeah.
Mattress store theory, bro. Mattress store theory still.
There was also because we all eat this candy too, right? And it's labeled as Japan's greatest mystery and true crime. Do you know about the Pocky case?
Well, they don't tell you not to try out the mattresses in mattress stores, so you could easily be able to deduce if there was a body in the mattress that you're laying on. If I went in a mattress store and I jumped on the bed and felt somebody's chest cavity hit me back, then yeah, I would probably try to say that that holds some kind of evidence. But I will say furniture stores are always empty every time I go into them. I don't go into them a lot like Walmart, but like they are almost always empty. They are very, very empty as far as the parking lot goes too. So I don't know what's up with that, but hey.
Why do you feel so passionately about this?
Because I know there's an agenda.
What's the agenda?
The agenda is pay per mile next, then it's electric, then it's car sharing, then it's reduced private ownership of vehicles, then all these cameras are always going to be for the police. It's for surveillance. You think it's going to be used to prevent crime, but it's actually going to be linked to when we go to digital ID with our digital currency, all linked to our carbon footprint, essentially a credit scoring system.
Everybody doesn't watch the news or TV, but every time this whole new system gets brought up, people come to the same conclusions without having to get that information from anywhere else. So I will let you decipher that one yourself. We're not putting no chips in my head.
1,000 years is like a day to the Lord, and a day is like 1,000 years. So Jesus been gone for 2,000 years, so he only been gone for 2 days.
And the crazy part is, you can expand on this point and it just gets way deeper. Alright, just to reinforce our point, this is Psalms 90 and it says, 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by. And here, this is 2 Peter 3 and it says, but do not forget this one thing, dear friends. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years and 1,000 years is like a day. So once again, just some reassurance that this is a common theme throughout the Bible. But I actually want to talk about this portion of scripture specifically. This is Hosea and it says, after 2 days he will revive us. On the third day he will restore us, that we may live in his presence. So keep those two things in mind. 1 day, 1,000 years, and the principles of what Hosea prophesied. But just for some more context on this scripture, when he says revive us, he's referring to the nation of Israel. On the second day, the nation of Israel will be revived. So now this is where things get interesting. So Christ's crucifixion is around 30 AD. So from 30 AD to this date, it's 1,000 years, 1 day. From this date to this date, 2030, is the second day, 2,000 years. And according to Hosea, Israel will become a nation again on the second day. Well, as you can see, within the second day, 1948, Israel becomes a nation again, restored. But it doesn't finish there, because on the third day, we would live in his presence. So the third day, or 3,000 years after the crucifixion of Jesus, starts 2030. And now it might make a bit more sense as to why there are so many things around the year 2030. And once again, this is not speculation or conspiracy. This is simple fact. There are things called Agenda 2030 where people and governmental bodies and systems desire to change the world so much by the year 2030. And I guess now it just makes more sense as to why. Now, although according to the biblical timeline, the third day starts at 2030, I want to make it clear that I'm not here to say that Jesus is coming back at the year 2030, by no means. But what I am saying is, whenever Jesus is to come back, make sure that you're ready. Once again, let me go back to the Bible. Just like Peter says, the Lord is not slow in keeping his promises, as some understand slowness. Instead, he is patient with you, not wanting any to perish, but everybody to come to repentance. The most important part about this video is you repenting of your sins, turning to Jesus and understanding that he is the only way to eternal life. He is the way, the truth, and the life. And whatever year he decides to come back or you go to meet him, make sure your heart is ready.
Another important part to remember about that video is the word like is not the same as approximately. So it does say a day, 1,000 years is like a day. Like is very relative. You ever ask one of your friends, hey, how long until you get here? And they're like, I'm gonna be there in like 3 minutes. And then it was like actually 11 minutes. So like the Bible also says no one knows when God will return. So everybody that's trying to do the math about it and like get out their rulers and, you know, look at old calendars and all of that stuff to try to come out with their estimate of when it's going to happen, they're not going to be any closer to the answer than you are. Now, the bottom line of that is you're supposed to be doing what you know you're supposed to be doing, no matter when the return of anybody is supposed to be. Just because you know that you want to be treated a certain way. So you need to treat people exactly how you would want to be treated in your perfect world. And let everything else that will happen, happen.
Earth is hollow with 3 circular layers and 4 advanced civilizations and alloys. There are 3 openings to inner Earth, 2 near the poles and 1 in the Himalayas, and these not the only one. I'll give you a little history. In 1846, Marshall Darwin's discovery of the extinct woolly mammoth frozen in Siberia had led to a hollow Earth. Darwin thought that mammoths and other extinct creatures wandered freely in the interior of the Earth. This one had wandered outside by using the hole at the North Pole, was frozen, then carried to Siberia on an ice floe. Also, Jules Verne wrote our famous Journey to the Center of the Earth, which correlates this theory. Now, you'd be wondering, why doesn't anyone just lie to people that check their movies and Netflix? Well, that did happen. In 1926, Admiral Richard Byrd of the US Navy flew to the North and South Poles. In his diary, he tells of entering the hollow interior of the Earth and traveling over mountains, lakes, rivers, vegetation, and animal life. He eventually found cities and was greeted by a type of flying machines he had never seen before. There is even a retired colonel in the US Air Force who thinks that he and his twin sister were born in the hollow Earth. Some even believe that UFOs are not from other planets, but are manufactured by these beings from Earth's interior. Now, what's to say a not so man is next? Since icebergs are formed from fresh water, not salty ocean water, they couldn't be formed from the Arctic Ocean, but from some fresh body of water. Problem is, there is no such fresh body of water at the polar region. Now wait for it, and the theory steps in. It is thought that rivers coming from Earth's interior flow to the surface and freeze to form icebergs. Just the other day, actually, I was scrolling through the news headlines, and one stood out to me. Geologists baffled by massive anomalies that measure Earth's core. Could that mean that we need to upgrade our facts about Earth's structure? Is there a hollow Earth?
I don't know much about TED Talks, but I don't think TED just lets anybody get up there and talk. I'm going to be 100% honest. If so, I would like to meet TED because I got some opinions that I would like to get off of my chest. But I do believe in Hollow Earth. Something about everything we learned about what's inside of the Earth never made sense to me, especially when you learn new geography and what's actually out here in the world. We got caves that have their own atmosphere. We got cities under cities. We got miles and miles and miles of tunnels that lead to places that none of us will ever learn because we don't have top secret security clearance. So, I believe in Hollow Earth. I would like to get to the bottom of that. I don't have the resources to do that yet.
Do you hear what Walmart's doing?
Dude,
No,
don't
what?
get me started.
He knows because
You're about to convert me into a non-Walmart person, and I've been Walmart ride or die for my whole life.
Listen to this. So Walmart really put in the muscle to make all these self-checkouts, and so firing a ton of staff and stuff.
Saving so much money.
They lost record amounts of money.
in theft.
Last quarter was like 300 million
Yeah.
or something. But now they're coming out with, it's called Walmart Plus. So basically you pay $98 a year in order to be able to use the self-checkout.
They think they're Amazon.
What?
What do they do?
That's not gonna work. Going on?
We're paying you to work for you?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So like here's an idea, because they can't just like get rid of it,
The investment they've put in it.
the
yeah.
investment, but also like getting more staffing and like.
And that's where the future's going. Like, they're not going backwards. Like, they just got to figure out a system that works. And it's going to get to that point where Amazon, they have the cameras where
Yeah.
it registers everything you pick up.
I know.
And it's
they're
going to
just
get to
not
that
ready.
point.
Yeah.
If you think I'm about to pay you to scan and bag my own groceries, I will get all my food from Dollar General before I do that. I'm not even playing.
Imagine a device so powerful it could peer into the past, witness the crucifixion of Christ, hear the words of ancient philosophers, or see events erased from history. It sounds like science fiction, right? But what if I told you there's a story, shrouded in secrecy, about a device called the Chronovisor, a time machine allegedly hidden deep in the Vatican? Let me explain. In the 1950s, Father Pellegrino Ernetti, a Benedictine monk and physicist, claimed to have worked with a secret team of scientists, including Nobel laureates, to build the Chronovisor. This wasn't just any machine, it supposedly captured echoes of the past, visual and auditory moments trapped in time. Think of it like tuning into a cosmic broadcast of history. Ernetti claimed the Chronovisor was built using advanced physics and quantum principles, combined with secret knowledge preserved by the Church. With this device, the team allegedly witnessed history itself. They saw ancient Rome, heard the lost plays of Sophocles, and even viewed the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. But here's the twist. When the Church learned about the Chronovisor, they ordered it dismantled. Why? Because if it fell into the wrong hands, it could destroy the fabric of society. Imagine the power of seeing the absolute truth about history. Wars could start. Religions could fall. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it doesn't stop there. The Church's response only made things more suspicious. Stick around for part 2, where we'll uncover leaked photos, Ernetti's strange confession, and why some believe the Chronovisor might still exist. Check my profile for part 2.
I'm going to say that one is complete cap. Something with that kind of ability, first of all, would never be destroyed. That would be the dumbest move by even the most powerful people. 2, that was an AI voice talking about AI pictures. And I have never seen any kind of evidence that that thing is real. First of all, it sounds like something out of the Matrix. And while the simulation theory is definitely one that exists, I don't believe in that either. Until I get some tangible proof of some of these theories that all these people are sharing and going crazy over in the world, I'm not going to believe too many of them. There's a couple that I really do believe in wholeheartedly because of my experiences in life and with some of these people that I am not going to call a human being ever because of their behavior. But that's ridiculous.
No wonder J.D. Vance still doesn't smile even after becoming the vice president. Elon Musk has already come up with 3 creepy plans to surpass J.D. Vance and become Trump's real vice president. After winning the election, Vance returned to Ohio to adapt to the change in his identity. But obviously, he was uneasy because he and his wife Usha lost friends due to their alliance with Trump. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has gradually surpassed Vance's position and become Trump's strongest assistant. Number 1. Building connections with the Trump family. Musk invested at least $200 million during the election campaign to boost the voter turnout. As a result, he obtained the qualification to stay at Mar-a-Lago temporarily. Meanwhile, Musk is building deep connections with the Trump family. He has already been called uncle by Trump's 17-year-old granddaughter. Number 2, Trump once promised to create a new position for Musk in the cabinet, but he couldn't join due to conflicts of interest. Therefore, Musk suggested that Trump set up an efficiency committee and cut the $2 trillion federal budget. Number 3, Musk is the only entrepreneur who can deal with climate change. He entered the electric vehicle industry out of concerns about fossil fuels. With his foresight about the future, his billionaire status, and the success of SpaceX, he has become Trump's strongest backer.
People without the ability of empathy and the ability to use it inside of their choices in their career fields should not be in leadership roles. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Here's a story that'll blow your mind. This woman treated her own cancer with viruses she grew in a lab. In 2020, Beata Halasi discovered that her breast cancer had returned, and rather than go through another round of chemo, she decided to take things into her own hands. Why? Well, Halasi is a virologist at the University of Zagreb in Croatia, which is how she knew about OVT. What is OVT? It's an emerging type of cancer treatment that uses viruses to attack cancer cells and convince immune cells to attack them as well. So how did she use it? She prepared 2 types of viruses in her lab and had her colleague inject them directly into her tumor, and that is when something amazing happened. Over the course of the treatment, the tumor shrank, softened, and detached, allowing it to be removed and analyzed, and here's what they found. The tumor was filled with immune cells, suggesting that the OVT treatment had worked, and after taking an approved anti-cancer drug for another year, she's been cancer-free for almost 4 years. While there's always been debate about whether self-experimentation is ethical, she did publish her findings and received funding to research OVT treatment in animals. And if you want more interesting stories like this, you can subscribe to my newsletter. The link is in my
Bro, you cannot, I don't know how people can hate on somebody that was given a diagnosis that has a big possibility of being terminal, and they just decide to get in the lab and just start whipping up their own cure, and then it works. You don't have anything to say after the results have already come out. But there's definitely people in the comment sections online on these social media apps trying to oppose what she did as if you have a say in it at all. You're not even smart enough to make Kool-Aid, and you think you're about to sit here and have a respected opinion on somebody who literally cured their own cancer? Shut the fuck up.
2024 is going to be very chaotic. It's going to be weird. There's some weird movies coming out. How many guys saw the recent movie Leave the World Behind? Anybody saw that movie there? Oh, okay. Yeah, you know all these. Am I watching a movie, or is this a documentary realistic thing? And then I'm seeing Mark Zuckerberg just spent $100 million building a house in Hawaii with a nuclear bunker. What does he know that the rest of the world doesn't know about? Talk about the timing. Oh, accidentally, coincidentally, a week after that movie comes out, a new movie comes out. What's the name of that movie? Civil War. Leave the world behind. Our power grid in America hasn't been updated. 75% of it hasn't been updated in 50 years. And you're kind of talking about that. Then you're pitting whites against blacks. There's a line in the movie that says, Dad, you know if something goes down, we can't trust these white people. I know that's something both you and Mom agree on. Why do you put that line in the movie, Barack? And you were helping with the script. Why would you put that in the movie? Why would you put that in the movie? Barack, weren't you the same guy that gave a talk at the DNC in 2004 about bringing people together? What happened to that guy?
So I think there was kind of an inability to discern and differentiate between movie scripts and real life. Movies go in ways that make people uncomfortable, and then they have endings that make people comfortable again. That's just how that goes. Dialogue in movies has always been a thing. Nobody's been sitting here trying to get Quentin Tarantino canceled, but for some reason, certain things rub the guilty party the wrong way. Now, anyway, beyond that, he was cooking. For a lot of the stuff he was saying, he was cooking. You know what I mean? But when it comes to cinema, I don't use that as part of arguments about my ideals in real life. Like, we all like Django. We all like to Get Out. I think we just need to start understanding that being uncomfortable is a part of cinema. That's all I'm going to say about it. But that's the video today. I'll try to share a little bit more of my opinion in a more strong matter later down the line, but right now we're just trying to keep it civil. It's a lot of stuff going on in the world. And I don't need nobody trying to get stronger than they are on the comment section and showing up around here, because I'm going to put these things on you. Anyway, y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all next week.